Let us get into the last part of karma, that is action plan. So under karma's action plan, we are going to see in different levels what are all the action plan we are supposed to do. Emotionally, what are all the things we need to do, intellectually, physically, and the few unique approach we need to understand, and what are all the things we should never do. And last, there is a way out. So first, emotional. So 3 dimensions we are going to see, and the first one is mental preparation. This is about sex. So when a person emotionally gets prepared to anything for that matter, the involvement and the awareness level will be more. So therefore, here too that applies. When a person is well informed, when you inform your partner much before the sexual life or intercourse, if you inform her or him in the morning itself and mentally prepare them, not informing like sending a circular or a memo, but giving signs or informing that tonight there's a surprise or something like that. These kinds of mental preparation will create so much of alertness and awareness and expectation for the night, which will really make a very beautiful time together. This can be verbal communication, or it can be non-verbal communication of sign language or eyes, etc. The second dimension is when you are planning to have sex, at least for that day. Ideally, these things should not happen at all, because when you really care and love your partner, and your partner really cares and loves you, then definitely in ideal way there will not be any argument or correcting the other person, etc. It will happen by itself, by naturally. At least that day when you are going to have sex, you are not supposed to argue or correct or fight in any ways. So listen more, agree to what the partner says, and also even help in house chores, the activities, cleaning or washing or anything. Again, ideally these are our inevitable things we are supposed to do every day, both husband and wife for that matter. But at least when you want to have a very beautiful time together in the night, then definitely in the daytime there should not be any mental stress which should not disturb the happy moments. The third one is the environment where you are going to have sex. So I'm going to give you a few examples. These things really matters. These things make so much of impact. Normally people don't think of all these things. For them, it is about my body and your body. There is no what else to think about. Why do we need to have even clean cloth or clean bed? But it is not so. There are so many things which we can prepare, so that will completely change our mindset, completely elevate our sex. One is the lighting. It should not be completely dark, or it should not be fully light up, but it should be in the medium. There are so many lights available, and that moonlight feel where you can see your partner but you cannot see your partner. That kind of a feel will be more advisable. But at the end of the day, obviously light matters, and you can choose whichever is your favorite. The second thing is aroma. Normally children are very much aware of smell. They use their nose very much than any elders for that matter. But unfortunately, when we grow up, we also grow away from our childhood and our beauty of the child. And one such thing is smell. And we should have an amazing scent or room spray, or even some aromatic sticks or etc., which also kindles and creates so much of awareness. a light music will definitely work without doubt. People always think that all these things are external. When we are connected, there is nothing needed for us. But believe me, when you prepare a person from the morning, and when there is no hard feelings in the whole day, and when the night is filled with all these things, that will completely take your moments together to a different level. And yes, you need to have some snacks. This may look stupid, but yes, you need to have snacks so that you can take a break and you can eat and you can get some relaxation and you can again continue. And the last one is the bedding. So how good the pillows are, the beds are, all those things. So these are all connected with the emotions. The second one is intellectual things which we need to do. This takes time, obviously. You can't straight away know your partner fully, but there are few guidelines. Normally, you might have seen this, people act so rudely, people act so, instinctly. They don't take time. They just jump on each other, and in 15 minutes, 5 minutes, they complete their sex and they get into their cell phones, or they get into their work, or they sleep. But that is nothing but, it is called animal instinct. It's not a human way of doing sex. The human way should become so slow and so long time, and also it should not be just physical body interacting with another physical body. Their mind should be involved, the intelligence should be involved. Why intelligence? You need to know, you need to feel, you need to think, and you need to become one. And mind, you should feel the person. There should not be only intelligence and body, there should be mind involved, the emotion involved. You should love the person in every touch. Only then it will work. The second dimension is needs. Basic things, appearance. If your partner doesn't like mustache, or if your partner doesn't like with you with the particular dress, all those things also matter. So how you look outside. And then frequency. We need to discuss all these things. You can't just go by yourself. You need to ask. You should not force anywhere. So this is how you need to understand your partner. Otherwise, you will mess up things badly. Preferences are of two types. One is the basic data, and the other one is about foreplay. In details, we are going to see two things. You need to have a clear idea about where you are going to do sex and when you are going to do sex. Because many a times in Indian family system, we may have so many different circumstances. Our close relative will be in the next room where the sound will be very transparent, or time will be awkward where there will be different disturbances from outside, and your partner may not prefer this time, your partner may not prefer this place. So all these things also matter. So you should also know your partner's preferences with respect to place and time. And I hope you have heard this word, foreplay. If you have not heard, then you are a sinner without doubt, at least in this context. I'm just joking, don't take it seriously. Foreplay is a very, 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 very important thing. As we have discussed about the differences between men and women, women take time. They need more take off time. They can't hurry up things. They want to feel more. They want to feel each and every cell of their body. So they can't get one erection, one moment and then relax. No, their entire approach is different. So therefore, you need to understand about foreplay. Both partners should understand obviously about foreplay, and the speed should be understood. Every person will have a different preferences, and also the body will have a different zones, different sensitive zones, where they get more awareness when you touch that particular part of the body. So all these things also a person should understand in due course of time. Don't do interview and ask your partner, okay, what is your zone points, where if I touch you will get happiness. You can't do an interview and understand a person. You need to explore. So as per body is concerned, you need to take time. You can't understand about a person's body in few days or a few months. It's an exploration. And also you need to think that person is not a different person altogether. And when you reach that level of oneness, you won't feel the other person is different from you. Anyways, so now we are going to see the meditation perspective. This may sound lunatic also, but yes, sex is also a meditation. And I don't want to get into the scriptures, but understand one thing: in meditation, everything is still, right? Everything is defocused. There's no analysis happening. A level will you will reach a level where your sex life will enter into a world of meditation, where the time stops and the thought stops, and you will be in a trance. And I'm not saying after meditation, after sex, but I'm saying during sex. And that level of sex life is the goal, I say. As per physical action plan is concerned, activity as such, foreplay, we have already discussed this. And foreplay should be definitely slow, and it should be as sensible like a snail. And massage is a very good approach. And you can do with many things. I am just giving a sample as oil. And you should be very careful when you experiment with massage, because there are different soft and tender nodes in the body, where when you hard press a nerve or a muscle catch may happen. So you should be sensitive, and you should do with full carefulness. Then comes the creative part of the physical body. Understand, the climax is not important. The last moment when a man releases his sperm is not the point. The journey is important. Destiny is not important. So throughout the journey, every moment, every second matters. And you need to explore. You need to understand your partner's body. And body, I mean top to bottom, toe to head. You should have a complete understanding. And how will that happen? That will happen only when you observe. So you should not go based on your own preferences in your mind. If you are a husband or if you are a wife, you need to have a love towards your partner, and you need to explore. So all these things, I will in detail tell why all these things to be done, and is this that much required. But before entering into that part, let me complete this third point: postures. I'm not going to explain the different postures, obviously. I'm going to tell few things which is very important, which you need to keep in mind. Your health is very important. Don't just try to imitate something online or something what you watched from porn or some article. So do whatever is possible to your health. You need to understand where you are before experimenting on some stupid things. Health is very, very important. And the second thing is approval. Even if you are healthy, you can't force your partner to do some stupid stunt because you want to experiment it, because you saw something or you heard something. So therefore, whatever you do when it comes to postures, without approval, never force or never try to influence. The third one is, the porn influence, which we have already mentioned in caution, that we get into different unreal stuffs from porn, and because of which we may end up into different things. So never ever try to imitate porn, because it is not real. It is exaggerated for a marketing purpose, a selling point. There is a money involved there. So therefore, so many drugs and so many things are involved in it, and it's not real. So don't try to imitate. It is not possible in real life at all. Now we have come to a conclusion of a physical, intellectual, and emotional. And before entering into the uniqueness of male body and female body, I need to tell one thing. Listen very, very carefully. This is going to be the secret of the Kama segment of all the 3 videos, part 1, 2, and 3. Human body is very unique. Human mind is even more unique than the body. Human beings get bored quickly. We get bored with our pen, our pencil, our house, our laptop, our cell phone, our dress, even our mother's food. That is why when people get into hostel and start eating hostel food, they say, now I miss my mother's food. And that is why people say, you will not know my value until and unless I am around you. Because we get bored with the loved ones also. And only when the absence of that person, we will realize the value of that person. This shows that the boredom happens not only with the things, but also with the people around us. So 100% this is natural. A point may come in our life where we may get bored with our partner's body also. And at that moment, we need to realize that the boredom is happening not because we don't like it, but because we are doing something the same way again and again. So we need to make sure that at any cost we should not get bored with our partner. There are so many ugly, unfortunate things happening around us. And I say these things are unfortunate because people are so pathetic. They are so, sorrowful, painful, that they want to come out of the boredom. They want to come out of their painful lifestyle. Therefore, they end up into a bigger shit. I pity for them because they didn't get a proper guidance. And here is the one thing which we need to remember. There is definitely possibility to live with the same partner every day for multiple decades without getting bored. A person can touch his or her partner 50 years as if that is the first touch. A couple can make every sexual intercourse as if that is the first night for them. Believe me, this is not exaggeration. And until and unless once a person doesn't understand the nature of human mind, we will get into so many conflicts and so many confusions and so many wrong decisions. I have never taken part 1, 2 or 3 for any topic other than this particular one topic, because this is the one area where people don't want to talk about. And this is the one area which people, are excited about. Human mind is one of the trickiest creation of God. Therefore, we need to know about our mind and how it reacts in different time, in different situation. Let us get back the uniqueness of male human body. Let us get back male human body, 3 dimensions. We need to communicate, we need to initiate, and we need to Yes, now we are going to see the men's role, what they are supposed to do. Generally, this happens. This is not the rule, but generally, men should initiate the communication with respect to sex. It is not that every time this happens, but generally this happens, and we need to. The men needs to initiate also, and also the observe and understanding all these things falls under men category, because men plays a very vital role in sex because of his limited awareness. Unfortunately, this is a spelling mistake. It's Vekam. Yes. So Vekam is something, a Tamil word. You can call it as shy, but it is not shy. Basically, when a man touches your body, what happens to your body is called Vekam. Okay, it's not shy, because we call stage fear is also a shyness, but something what happens in the body when the little I don't know, right? So I hope you understood. Lajja, they say, right? Something many it's a peculiar Indian word. There are many words in different regional languages, I am very sure. So this is one of the most beautiful thing. Every woman should preserve this quality, so that this quality sustains the relationship, sustains the sexual life for a longer time, longer decades. Because I have seen my parents touching a shoulder, and my mother will just move away and say, hey, what are you doing? See, after 40 years, after 50 years, people always think that the Western world is far matured and developed, and they say showcasing or expressing the affection in public place is okay. But what I feel personally, or what I understood from an Indian perspective, is when you publicly demonstrate your affection by kissing or by hugging or by touching, those things will reduce your the concept of Vekam, which will in turn affect a long time freshness in a relationship. I am very sorry if I can't make you understand. I have some limitation, I guess, with respect to explaining this. If I get a better way of explaining this concept, I will definitely come back. These are the 6 things which we are not supposed to do, or we need to keep an eye on, right? So the first one, let us see, is sleep. After sexual intercourse, particularly husbands should not sleep right away, as if the job is done. Communicating after sex also very, very important, because that gives the comfort to the person, not physically, but mentally, emotionally. Because once the sex is done, and if the husband or wife sleeps, then the question comes, okay, so your need is over, therefore now you left me, right? So at least for that understanding, at least a few words, at least a few minutes, there should be a general care, carrying the person and talking relaxed, and then the sleep should happen. Second thing, at any point of time, in any dimension, no force should happen in any level. The third one is multitasking, phone or book or thoughts even. Any type of multitasking should not happen during sex at all. Role play. If you have not done it, you are lucky. If you have heard it, listen carefully. If you don't know, better don't know. But if you know and if you are doing, listen, this is a very, very serious shit. What normally in the modern time people are doing is they imitate themselves as Shah Rukh Khan, or somebody else, or a stranger, some or the other shit they make up, and they act as if they are a different person, and they do sex. Why do they do this in the first place? Because they are bored with the partner and they don't know how to continue with the same person. So they can't go and meet a different person. So what they do is they think this person itself is another person. They hide their face, or they put a mask, or they call themselves with a different name. But understand, this is the most dangerous thing. Why? Because you are not accepting the reality and you are creating an illusion on your partner. Therefore, you are not touching your partner, you are touching somebody else. And this is going to create a very big shit in your brain, where you are not only accepting your wife as she is, but also you are accepting and touching somebody else in your mind. Very, very dangerous thing. Sometimes people imagine somebody else in the mind and touch their partner. That is also equally as dangerous like role play. All these things are happening because your love towards your partner is not adequate. You need to love more, you need to accept your partner more, you need to value your partner more. When all these things happen, when you love your partner, you don't need to think somebody else in your head, or you don't need to come up with some story to interact or touch, right? And this is going to create a very big damage to your family life and to your mental life, because a day will come when these kinds of stupid, idiotic, I'm getting angry because that is the most dangerous thing a couple can enter into. Because you are doing you are making a real life an illusion, which is going to affect you in your real world, where you are going to think the third person out there in the road next to whom I should choose as my role play. And you are going to affect your personal life, your professional life, your career, your family life, everything. Your whole life is going to be a fake in no time if you get entertained with the role play game. I beg you, if you want to lead a happy married life, then skip this. Fifth one, masturbation. We have discussed it a lot in caution. And this is also important. When you are involving yourself in sex, first understand you are not important. The moment when you think you are important and for your pleasure you are taking the other person's body, then that very thought makes you very, very ugly person, and you can't have a happy, healthy sexual life. So first you should understand, in sex you are not important. Only the other person is important, and you need to treat the other person as god or goddess. Only then the sexual life is going to be healthier and happier and sustainable. And the last part is dharma adharita kamosmi. This is a statement in Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna tells, I am the kama, I am the pleasure, but that pleasure which is based on dharma. So never ever think of any ugly thing in your mind of somebody else other than your life partner, and understand that is going to impact your personal life. And I hope I made some sense. We have completed the action plan. So these are all the things we have seen. I hope you enjoyed. Let us get back to the next video.